Next time you button up a shirt and it feels just a little off, maybe you're borrowing your partner or trying on something new, you might notice it. Men's shirts almost always have buttons on the right side. Women's shirts, buttons on the left. It's such a small detail that most of us never question it, yet once you see it, you can't unsee it. Why on earth did we end up with this flipped convention? The real reason is a fascinating mix of old-world practicality, social class, and habits that got locked in centuries ago and never changed. Buttons themselves only became popular in Europe around the 13th century. Before that, people used ties, pins, or belts. Once buttons arrived, clothing makers had to pick a side, and the choice stuck differently for men and women. The strongest explanation comes down to who was actually doing the dressing. Most men dressed themselves. Since the vast majority of people are right-handed, it's easier to button a shirt when the buttons are on the right side. Your dominant right hand pushes the button through the hole on the left fabric more naturally. It just feels intuitive when you're doing it solo. Women, especially wealthy ones during the Renaissance and Victorian eras, often had help. Their clothing tended to be far more elaborate: corsets, layers of petticoats, bustles, the works. A right-handed maid or servant standing face-to-face with the woman she was dressing found it much easier to fasten buttons if they were on the wearer's left side. The orientation lines up perfectly with the servant's dominant hand. What started as a practical convenience for the upper class eventually became the standard as ready-made clothing spread. There's also an old theory tied to men's swords. Back when gentlemen carried weapons on their left hip, drawn with the right hand, having the jacket button left over right helped keep the fabric from catching on the sword hilt. That reinforced the right side button tradition for men as a mark of practical, masculine clothing. Other ideas float around, like Napoleon supposedly flipping women's buttons out of spite, or adjustments for side saddle riding and breastfeeding. But historians generally point to the servant self-dressing divide as the most solid route. What's wild is how this tiny detail survived mass production, changing fashions, and modern equality. Today almost everyone dresses themselves, yet manufacturers still follow the old convention. It's one of those quiet historical echoes baked right into your closet. So the next time you fumble with the wrong side on someone else's shirt, you'll smile knowing exactly why it feels backward. It's not bad design, it's centuries of right-handed practicality and class-based dressing rituals that somehow followed us into the 21st century. A small flip in buttons, a big reminder that even the most ordinary things in our daily lives carry hidden stories from the past. If you found this hidden story fascinating, hit that like button right now. It really helps. Subscribe to Story Behind the Things and turn on the notification bell so you never miss the surprising stories behind everyday things we use every day. Tell me in the comments, did you know any of this before, or what other common object should I explain the hidden history of next? A light bulb, paper clips, or zippers? Thank you so much for watching. Keep learning, stay curious, and I'll see you in the next video on Story Behind the Things.